Live from Michigan Avenue, this is Fox 32's Good Day Chicago.
Bear down, Chicago. It is going to be a cold one today. We're starting with frigid cold temperatures and wind chills in the single digits. And the cold temperatures didn't stop hundreds of protesters from gathering outside the Broadview Immigration Detention Center. We'll tell you what sparked this latest outcry. And today is the big day. Playoff football at Soldier Field. Bears versus Rams in dangerously cold temperatures. Tonight's game could be decided by which team can actually feel their fingertips. Well, good morning, everybody. It is Orange Sunday, January 18th. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm here along with Mark. Yeah, what's it going to be like out there?
You will need your digits, to play, because,
yes.
That ball, which is really not a round ball, it's hard to hold on to when your digits are
glass.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say this. Everybody keeps saying Bears have an advantage. We're used to the cold, but is anybody used to this?
That's true. We were talking about this last week, that even in Green Bay, they always say, yeah, we're good at playing in the cold. We hate it.
We don't like it, yeah.
But we're better because these other teams like California, they come in here, or Miami, they come in and they, not acclimated, and it's difficult to adjust to.
And it's been warm there. I think it's like 80s, and
right.
So,
I mean,
yes, whatever. We'll take it.
I think I would, if I were the coach, I'd take them and go play in a freezer somewhere. Like, okay, we're going to go do calisthenics, jumping jacks in a freezer.
How long they've been out here getting ready, but look at that beautiful shot.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Cold, but it's beautiful.
Looking down the lake, there is some sunshine around this morning. We will take it because there is some snowfall coming our way as we go towards the afternoon. In fact, during the game, I expect to see some snow around today. But a beautiful sunrise. You can see the clouds out over Lake Michigan off to the left. Those are snow-producing clouds, lake effect clouds for the other side of the lake. In fact, there are some winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings for Michigan coming up as we go through the next 24 hours. For us, we are dry. Just some anomalous propagation popping up here around the radar site. That means, nothing really falling to the ground there, just some false returns. Again, a winter storm alert is up for the other side of the lake. Winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings coming up later on today, overnight, and tomorrow. For us, there is a cold weather advisory posted for tonight into the early morning hours for bitter cold temperatures. Well, our forecast high temperatures today, we're going to be in the teens and low 20s, and we'll be in a very narrow range of cold weather today. Again, well below average. Temperatures right now, 9 at the lakefront, 7 at O'Hare, 3 at Rockford and DeKalb. It's 4 at Woodstock, and 10 degrees this hour in Joliet, 5 coming in at Aurora. Your game day forecast, well, looking for temperatures in the teens. I think we'll see some snowfall today. It'll be very light snow, just enough to kind of accent the game. I think we're going to have wind chill values easily down to 0. I think for a good portion of the game today, those wind chill values will be minus 0 and below as we go through the afternoon. Winds gusting right now up to 23 miles per hour at O'Hare, 24 mile per hour wind gust at Midway, and we are going to see gusty winds coming up for the next 24 hours.
All right. Thanks for that, Mark. We are following breaking news for you this morning. A woman is dead following a crash on South DuSable Lakeshore Drive. This happened earlier this morning at about 2:20. According to police, the car traveling near the 2500 block of South DuSable Lakeshore Drive, when the driver lost control, hit a pole, and then crashed into the median. Officers say the woman sustained traumatic injuries from the crash and was taken to a hospital where she later died. The driver and 3 passengers were also taken to the hospital. They are expected to be okay. ICE protests in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area continue this weekend as people are pushing back against federal immigration enforcement. In a new ruling by a federal judge, immigration agents cannot detain or use tear gas on protesters who are not obstructing authorities. This is a response to a lawsuit filed on behalf of 6 Minnesota activists in December. Critics of the judge's decision argue that immigration agents need to be protected from, quote, dangerous rioters.
What we've seen from a lot of these agitators and violent offenders is that they're spitting on our law enforcement. They're weaponizing their vehicles against our law enforcement. They're hitting, pushing, shoving.
Critics also say it is an attempt to micromanage ICE's actions. And the crackdown in Minneapolis also sparking reaction in the Chicago area. A large group of anti-ICE protesters returning to some familiar territory this weekend. Dane Placco reports.
I am not afraid. I do not fear. This is a struggle for dignity, for life, and we will not stop.
For the first time in weeks, hundreds of protesters gathered outside the Broadview Immigration Detention Center, despite temperatures in the teens. Tensions have been refueled by the massive ICE enforcement action in Minneapolis and the death of Renee Good at the hands of an ICE agent.
Every day I wake up and read headlines about masked men shooting mothers, dragging 17-year-olds out of work and beating them half to death, and schools and daycares going into lockdown. Abolishing ICE is our moral and legal imperative.
There was also some jostling and angry words when a small group of counter-protesters showed up. One man knocked to the ground. This area around the Broadview Detention Center had been quiet for the past several weeks after federal agents largely ended their 9-week surge of enforcement raids in the Chicago area. Some of those here today have had family members taken away by ICE, including a woman whose father is currently in custody.
And for better or worse, me coming and doing these things has given my father hope. And not just him, but the other people who are in there who saw me on the news.
I think protests like this is what gives me hope in the future, because we live in a very tumultuous time.
That was Dane Placco reporting. President Trump is calling for an end to the reign of Iran's supreme leader, and he is not forgetting his push to acquire Greenland either. Madeline Rivera has the latest.
President Trump says his foreign policy strategy is defined by placing American interests first. And in the Middle East, this means making sure that an adversary does not dominate the region. The president believes Iran is the weakest it's ever been. In an interview with Politico, he calls for an end to the supreme leader's reign, saying it's time to look for new leadership in Iran. But it's still unclear whether the U.S. will intervene militarily. There have been reports that Israel and Arab leaders had asked the president to hold off on attacks on Iran, afraid that it could destabilize the region. The president, though, says he wasn't convinced by anyone to hold back. He indicates whatever comes next will be determined by what Iran does or does not do as the U.S. boosts land, air, and sea assets to the Middle East.
As you know, Iran canceled the hanging of over 800 people. They were going to hang over 800 people yesterday, and I greatly respect the fact that they canceled that.
But there are concerns that the president's quest for America first could compromise its relationship with NATO allies. The president now using tariffs to pressure countries which don't support the United States' desire to control Greenland. Those that will be affected include Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and Finland. These new tariffs will begin at 10% on February 1st and will increase to 25% on June 1st until a deal to buy Greenland is reached. Sweden's Prime Minister among the many European leaders reacting, saying we will not let ourselves be blackmailed. Only Denmark and Greenland decide on issues concerning Denmark and Greenland. He says European countries will be holding discussions in the coming days to come up with a coordinated response. In West Palm Beach, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Chicago residents are continuing to show support for Iran.
Iranians make their choice. USA, be their voice.
Protests were held along Michigan Avenue this weekend. One was led by Chicago for Iran, the other by MIGA, or Make Iran Great Again. They're calling for Iran's supreme leader to be removed and to end the violence inside that country.
If you want peace now, not just the Middle East, all around the world, if you want peace today, you have to support Iranian protesters. You have to take down this regime. This regime is not going to stop. The nuclear program not going to stop. The terror not going to stop. They not going to stop killing people. And we have to stand with the Iranian people.
Protesters were also calling for President Trump to do more about the situation. Closing the digital divide is the goal behind a laptop giveaway today in the Auburn-Gresham neighborhood. Congressman Raja Krishnamurthy joined Congressman Jonathan Jackson and alderpersons David Moore and Pat Dowell to hand out free laptops to teens in need. The goal is to ensure that every teenager in Chicago, regardless of their background, has access to technology.
Because we want people to recognize that for true justice to flourish in this country, there needs to be economic justice. There needs to be social justice. There needs to be technological justice.
The laptop giveaway was sponsored by the Greater Auburn-Gresham Development Corporation and the Auburn-Gresham Healthy Lifestyle Hub. Coming up, only in Florida, a house with a jail, a cave, and a King Kong by the pool. This man house is for sale, and believe it or not, it's already under contract. We'll explain it. Welcome back. It is 7:13. Abigail Spanberger is now the first female governor of Virginia, and already her Democratic colleagues are moving to redraw congressional maps in the Commonwealth. That's ahead of this year's midterms. Madison Scarpino has the latest.
Virginia's new governor says the history and gravity of this moment are not lost on her. She was sworn in Saturday afternoon in a chilly Richmond, Virginia, alongside her husband and 3 daughters. She emphasized her gratitude to those who have worked for generations to ensure women could even have the chance to be in this position.
I stand before those who made it possible for a woman to also participate in that peaceful transfer of power and take that oath. And it is with a profound sense of duty to all Virginians that I assume the governorship and pledge myself to work tirelessly on behalf of our Commonwealth.
Spanberger is a former CIA agent and a U.S. House Intelligence Committee member. Spanberger previously said she hopes she can work with the Republican-led federal government, especially given Virginia is home to many federal employees. But her speech Saturday did not go without subtle digs at the Trump administration.
And I know many of you are worried about the recklessness coming out of Washington. You are worried about policies that are hurting our communities, breaking the social safety net and sowing fear across our communities, betraying the values of who we are as Americans.
And this all comes as Virginia lawmakers passed a constitutional amendment Friday, allowing them to redraw congressional maps ahead of the midterm elections that would likely benefit Democrats. We've seen this happen nationwide lately, with both parties looking for an advantage ahead of the elections, particularly in states like Texas, Missouri, North Carolina, California, and Utah. As for Virginia, Democrat leaders say the proposed new map would be made public by the end of this month. And if approved by voters in the spring, Democrats could gain up to 4 seats in the House. In Atlanta, Madison Scarpino, Fox News.
We now want to turn to a consumer alert for you. Some new electric vehicles produced by Chevrolet are being recalled because of pedestrian sound issues. The NHTSA says 80,000 Chevy Equinox electric vehicles made in 2025 and 26 are part of this recall. Safety regulators say the pedestrian alert sound systems are defective and fail to meet minimum sound requirements for hybrid and electric vehicles. General Motors says it will update this software of the vehicle through wireless technology or through the dealership. People that may have defaulted on their student loans and are worried about losing their tax refunds are catching a temporary break. The U.S. Department of Education says it's putting on hold its plans to seize tax refunds or garnishing wages from Americans with defaulted loans. The department says it's going to revise student loan repayment regulations in order to align them with the One Big Beautiful Bill Act passed in July of 2025. The department says it wants to help student loan holders resume on-time payments with more clear and affordable options. So here we are on Orange Sunday, Mark Strell, and it is going to be a cold one out there. Did you feel it when you headed outside this morning yet?
Oh, yeah. It was a little bit chilly this morning.
Now, what about those winds? Those are always the killers, right?
A little bit chilly. That's really the key part of the equation. Looks pretty as we look up the Mag Mile up to the north. Well, those winds this morning are gusting at times up to around 25 miles per hour, making cold conditions even colder with wind chills running 15 degrees below zero right now in DeKalb up towards Rockford. Woodstock here at 14 degrees below zero, 13 below zero wind chill factors right now in Aurora, and minus 10 at O'Hare. So a bitterly cold morning. It's going to be a bitterly cold day today as well. All right, next round of snowfall is lining up from Minnesota out over Iowa. I believe that will be here later this afternoon and this evening. And it looks like we'll have a little bit of very light snowfall as we go into game time today. Snowfall amounts maybe an inch, inch and a half, similar to yesterday, maybe a little tad bit more. But again, these are largely moisture-starved events sliding in from the north and from the northwest, not producing a ton of snow. Now, the exception will be the other side of the lake. If you're doing the drive around up north, especially of Berrien County, Michigan, up towards, say Grand Rapids, expecting about 5 to 8 inches of snow. So light snowfall coming in, cold temperatures, and then enhancement coming in off the lake. So heavy snow on the other side of the lake. Northwest Indiana, not so much of a problem. This is more of a Michigan issue coming up over the next 24 hours. And for us, just some very light snowfall. Sunshine around as we start out our day today. Increasing amounts of cloud cover, but all day long it is going to be a cold one. Temperatures struggling to hit even 20 degrees today.
Okay, thanks, Mark. For animal lovers, we already have a number of furry friends at home. An animal shelter in California is giving people a chance to help shelter dogs get adopted, including Doggy Day Out, pups and PJs, and group outings. It's also helping people get some exercise and lots of love before work. Juliet Smith explains.
The Jog a Dog program at Front Street Animal Shelter is way more than just a chance to get your steps of the day in. It's also an opportunity to give guys like this a second chance at a new life. And also a very important reminder that sometimes the best stress relief comes with 4 legs and a wagging tail.
I started at the end of June, and then I've pretty much been coming like most every week since then.
Megan Seaman is one of the joggers.
It's definitely like a big mental health thing for me, in addition just to like physical benefits of it too. But the coolest thing has just been meeting all the different dogs. They're just so like loving.
High energy dogs mean high energy levels of affection and cuteness. Shelters are a highly stressful environment for dogs, so the pups that appear to have high energy may not actually reflect their true personalities.
The reason they're barking is they want to get out, they get fed, they want treats, they want all of the attention, and they're just in there watching everybody walk by. So it's really not a good representation of the dog's behavior.
A shelter volunteer says going out for a jog or even just a walk is the key to learning a stressed dog like Bella's true personality, which, spoiler alert, is usually a big bundle of love.
They present way better in kennel if they're not over energetic, jumping off the walls, all of that sort of stuff. They also get lots of good photos that go on the website and bios about their behavior.
What is it? The program began 6 months ago, and thanks to volunteers, there's been over 160 jogs. The dogs have been adopted by some of the joggers, or others they've charmed on their outings.
So we'll get people that are like, oh, I met the dog at the coffee shop and now I'm here to adopt it. So there's all sorts of ways that they get adopted through this program.
And while some may have hesitation about bringing them back to the shelter after the jog,
people always say they don't want to do it because it is sad to return them to the shelter, but you have to think about what they would be doing if they weren't out and about.
And speaking of dogs, dozens of pet owners brought their furry companions to church to receive a blessing. This is all part of the day of St. Anthony, who is the patron saint of animals. The ceremony took place outside of the St. Anthony Church in Madrid. Dogs and cats are seen taking their turn as Catholic priests give their blessings. It's believed to bring the animals protection and health for the coming year. A large mass took place afterwards, and the pets were even allowed inside the church.
I've never seen that before.
That's pretty cool, though. Huh? Look at the kitty cats, too, huh?
Only dogs and cats, though, huh? I couldn't bring my parakeet.
Or your pig.
Yeah.
Your
my
pot-bellied pig. Remember that trend? It seemed like people were really like getting into pot-bellied pigs.
I worked with a weather guy one time that had a pot-bellied pig. And, okay, this sounds really weird, but I'm just going to tell you.
Please.
The pot-bellied pig slept in the bed with his wife and him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it was like a member of the family.
Is that right? And how long did they have this pig?
Well, this was many years ago, and I think they had the pig right up until, the pig's demise, I believe.
Wow. And was it a big pot-bellied pig?
I never saw it. Just saw pictures, but, I mean, they're, size, but, they've got a big belly,
Wow.
Yeah.
I bet. Pigs are so cute, aren't they? They really are. I mean, I don't want to own one and then,
Well, Arnold was kind of cute, I guess, on Green Acres. So,
that's right. Green Acres.
They are very smart. They are very, very smart.
I've heard, yeah.
Well, a house for sale is being called the ultimate Florida man house. 3-bedroom, 3-bath house, 4,000 square feet. That's a sizable little abode, right? It's filled with lots of incredible sights. There's a cave walkthrough. Everyone needs a cave walkthrough. Okay, this is also kind of weird. It has a jail feature. I don't know what was going on in that house. Don't know if I want to know. But it's in the listing, a jail feature.
Okay, as one does.
Yeah, it has a retro.
The old jail feature.
The old jail feature.
Yes.
I'm sorry, it's a deal breaker. There's no jail feature.
I don't want it, no jail feature.
Perfect house, great location, no jail feature. Well, the house also has a retro kitchen with a saloon-style living room. Did you see the saloon style yet?
What is that on the ceiling?
I think that's the cave feature.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
I want to know if this saloon-style living room has, the swinging doors like a Old West saloon. Outside, there's a it's called a nice pool, which I think is interesting because it's just nice. It's not great or grand, or it's just nice. But here's the thing that makes the pool. It has King Kong looking over you. House listed
That's like a house Jake Hamilton would love, right?
Well, Jake's would be classier than this, I would think. Yeah, this is... it kind of borders on tacky, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, even for a man house, See that pool there from the above picture? That looks better than nice. If I were a realtor, I would say it's a grand pool.
I want to know how much it costs.
$500,000.
Oh, thank you, Mark.
And there's currently an offer pending. So you know what? Like I always say, there's a pot for every lid.
Okay, wait. I'm looking at this. This has got to be the same house because there can't be two of them.
You would hope not, right?
Okay. How much did you say it was?
$500K.
5.9 million.
Oh, well, maybe they just put the decimal in the wrong place because this does look like a pretty spendy
Right, like
place.
I said, there cannot be more than one of those.
Well, how many places have man cave houses that are looking like a cave, right?
Wow. Yeah, 5.9 million. How about that? This goes to show.
Well, maybe it's come down, you know. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? It does have a swimming pool back there.
Yeah, a nice swimming pool.
A nice swimming pool. Okay, well, there's a new study that finds children are making more in allowance now than their parents did when they were their age, the average, up to $52 per month. That's $36 more than the parents made, adjusting for inflation. A poll of 2,000 U.S. parents of school-age children revealed 3 in 4 parents give their children a monthly allowance. More than 3 in 4 parents believe their children are responsible with money. Did you do
Really? You think that? You think they're responsible with money?
I always love it too when you give your children an allowance and then they would spend your money before they would spend theirs. Well, they still do that too.
Yeah, they're kind of hoarding it. Did you give your kids allowances?
I did. I tried it a few times, but it seemed to never work out.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, okay, we're going to give you an allowance. Your jobs are take out the trash and do the, whatever. Right. And it's like those jobs never seem to get done in a timely fashion.
And it's funny because I grew up in a house where there were 5 of us. I was the youngest of 5.
Wow.
And we had, because I had both working parents, and we had a list like Monday, this was my chore, Tuesday, this, and I always remember that sometimes one of my siblings would falter on their chores.
Oh, no.
Which
Faltering.
would then fall over into day 2 and day 3. And then we'd all get into these huge fights because you didn't do what you were supposed to do on Monday.
It's a domino theory.
It was.
Right.
It just didn't work.
And your father was in the military, correct?
He was, yes.
So I would imagine that usually those jobs were assigned with military precision.
Absolutely, including the beds being made and seeing if they could bounce a nickel off of it. It was made tight and sharp.
I've never quite ever mastered that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, a man in Great Britain just created the world's fastest trash bin. Doesn't this help you sleep better at night, right? Knowing that someone has a fast trash bin. Last week, didn't we have the couch?
We had 2 stories on people turning a couch and then something else.
Yeah, it's just like
what's up with this?
This looks like a perfect way to end your family lineage. I mean, you tell me that looks safe. Okay, that right there looks sped up, but that's not safe in any way, shape, or form. The dumpster on wheels can reach speeds of, check it out, 66 miles per hour. Wow. What could go wrong? He built his souped-up garbage can using a motorcycle engine and go-kart wheels. Of course, he named it Dukes of Hazardous Waste.
That's cute.
After the 80s TV show. He now holds the record in the Guinness Book of World Records. Yes, they have a record for fastest trash can.
They were trying to, he was trying to break a record. I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you seem like you're kind of a creative engineering type.
I can come up with stuff.
I was going to say, you done anything like that?
No, but I got to tell you, my son came up with one time. It was a hovercraft.
Okay.
Made out of like vacuum cleaner parts.
Really? Do explain.
Well, it was, I don't know where he came up with it, but he came up with some design, and it was actually like a little hovercraft made out of a shop vac.
Back to the Future?
It was a little bit bigger than that because the
Did it actually hover?
It kind of did, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I was quite impressed.
I was going to say.
Although at the same point, I was not very happy that my shop vac got cannibalized.
So what did your son end up doing for a living? Obviously,
He's a scientist.
He is.
Yeah.
Okay, it all makes sense.
Yeah, right.
It was worth sparing that shop vac for that.
I think it was.
And that was a fine
what
young
the heck?
Man.
Yeah,
Very
right.
Cool. Okay.
Destroying someone else's shop vac.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's 7:31. The Bears are set to host the Los Angeles Rams this evening at Soldier Field, as you know. Both teams are coming off emotional, come-from-behind wins last week. The focus at Hallis Hall has since been reset with the mindset of going 1-0 this week. 14 players on the Bears roster have postseason experience, and that includes quarterback Case Keenum, who orchestrated the Minneapolis Miracle 8 years ago in the divisional round between the Saints and the Vikings. Keenum has played a critical role not only in Caleb Williams' development this season, but has been a trusted veteran voice in the locker room.
He knows that how much his words carry weight around here, and he felt it was the right time to bring that up. And I think it was a great message for those guys in that room that week. So he's done a tremendous job. He's a guy that I certainly look to as well to see where us as a team or me myself could do a better job. And he's been around so many different coaches and so many different teams that he's got a unique perspective that you don't see a whole lot.
All that stuff's really awesome, and it feels very emotional and significant, but none of that affects the next week. And so, like that happens, you celebrate it, you enjoy all the positivity, but then very quickly, not to diminish it or anything like that, but you're like, all right, now the priority is the Rams.
You have to move forward. You know what I mean? We've enjoyed it for a couple of days, but we got a game to get ready for this week. Great opponent coming in town, and so it's important that we have our enjoyment of the game, but at the same time, we got a bigger mission at hand, and we got to get ready to flip that page.
Make sure you tune in for Bears Game Day Live today, beginning at 12:30 p.m. right here on Fox Chicago. We're going to have the latest on injuries, headlines, and other important factors for the game. And then right after the game ends, tune in for our post-game coverage because, of course, we are home for the Chicago Bears, the best place to watch all of the analysis with Lou Canellis and our entire team. And time now for our mega poll question. Here you go. The Rams have one of the best rushing defenses in the league, but allowed 3 rushing touchdowns against the Panthers last weekend. So we want to know, how many rushing touchdowns will the Bears have against the Rams? Just scan the QR code right there on your screen or go to our website, fox32chicago.com, to vote. You can also use the Fox Local app, and we're going to show you the results during Orange Sunday today, beginning on the news at 9. Ooh, Mark, how you feeling about the day today?
It's going to be a tough one, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's going to be a tough one. The advantage goes to the weather for the Bears, right?
Yes,
We've all been saying that all week long. But it is going to be a tough one either way. But, it's obviously always tough when you get to this level at this point of the season. And it's fun to be at this point in the season, isn't it?
Oh, it's so much fun. Who knew? This is so cool, right?
At the beginning of the season, you would have never made that bet, right?
I love it.
Well, you know what? At this point in the season, we have a jet stream that looks like this. We've got cold air screaming down from the north and from the northwest. You can see it spilling right across the Great Lakes right here into Chicago, and it's diving down across the Mid-South as well. Just a core of cold air digging out right across the nation here. We're going to stay pretty cold all the way through much of the week, certainly into Monday. By Wednesday, we moderate a little bit, but then we're a little bit below average as we go towards the second half of the week as well. Let's take you through the next 48. We are starting out with a little break in the clouds, a little peak of sunshine. That's all good. Temperatures today topping out mostly in the upper teens, maybe touching on 20 degrees. I think we'll see some snowfall as we go towards the afternoon into the evening. This will be very light snowfall. Similar to yesterday, maybe a skosh more snowfall today. So maybe about a ½ inch as we go through the afternoon, and by tonight, some areas could see an additional inch. We're still talking about less than 2 inches of snowfall. So this is, again, more of a nuisance than anything else. Tonight, we're back down, tumbling all the way back down into the single digits. I think get outside of the city, we'll have a pretty good shot at 0. That shouldn't be an issue. And then look at the daytime high temperatures tomorrow, only into the single digits. Wind chills tomorrow morning, easily down to about 18, 19 degrees below 0. And again, a little break in the clouds, a little sunshine, and we're cold again tomorrow. All right, here's the cold air. Temperatures tomorrow into the single digits, 24 degrees on Tuesday. I'm going to go 30 on Wednesday, and then we chill back down the second half of the week. And after all, we are in the middle of January.
We are. All right, thanks for that. Taking a look at today's sports schedule, the Bulls are hosting the Nets this evening at 6 p.m. In women's college hoops, the Northwestern Wildcats travel to Champaign to take on the Fighting Illini. That's happening at 2 p.m. The UIC Flames women's team takes on Southern Illinois at 2 p.m. And then right here on Fox Chicago, it is Iowa State playing against Oklahoma State. That's happening at noon. Now, if and when the Bears win, we already know who their opponent will be in the NFC Championship game. The Seattle Seahawks clinched that spot after taking down the San Francisco 49ers. The Seahawks were in control throughout that game, scoring 24 points in the first half alone. Kenneth Walker III finished with more than 100 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. Seahawks go on to win 41-6. The Green Bay Packers extend head coach Matt LaFleur. Multiple reports saying he signed a multi-year contract to stay with the team. The two sides met early in the week to talk about the future direction of the organization. Details of the deal have not been released. The New York Giants have officially hired John Harbaugh as their next head coach. This comes after the two sides finally worked out a contract. He joins the Giants just 11 days after being fired by the Ravens. The Giants have gone 7-27 over the past 2 seasons. And another head coaching gig has been taken. Atlanta Falcons announcing that they've hired Kevin Stefanski for that job. He spent 6 years with the Cleveland Browns, where he made the playoffs twice and also won AP NFL Coach of the Year 2 times. Despite his fallout in Cleveland, Stefanski still received interest from other NFL teams looking for a new head coach. NFL fan gear is getting a glow up, and with the excitement around the Chicago Bears playoff journey, it's not surprising that the merch is flying off the shelves. Jake stopped by one of the Bears shops at Soldier Field earlier this week to check out the new gear.
That's right, guys. We know Bears fans are the absolute best in the NFL, but you know what? They're also the best looking and the best dressed. And a big reason why is where we are right now, the Bears Pro Shop out at Soldier Field, that has everything you need to maybe have a little refresh before the big game on Sunday. We're back here with Sarah Smith, VP of Fan Development and Marketing. Sarah, I'd imagine anything with these 3 words on it basically flying off the shelf.
Absolutely. This is our Good, Better, Best collection that was designed by our in-house brand creative team. We have sizes for women, men, unisex, kids, you name it. It's been a top seller. And also, it's got such a great story behind it, and you can know that when you get something like that, it's still going to be great next season, 10 seasons from now. But I'd imagine, particularly this weekend, people want to put a timestamp on where we are right now. And any merchandise that says 2025 playoffs, division champs, I'd imagine that's what people are really coming after, right? Exactly. It's been such a memorable season that this collection, fans really want to commemorate it, and so this has been flying off the shelves as well. I got to ask, though, you know, there's so many things out here, and everyone knows that, you know, obviously there are a lot of male Bears fans, but there are a lot of passionate female Bears fans, and you guys have a lot of merch that's going to make sure that they're the best dressed, best looking fans in all of football. Absolutely. So we really want to make sure that we're taking care of all of our fans. So for some of the female styles, we really lean into unisex, but also options like this where it's tone on tone. So maybe you want to sport the Bears, but you don't necessarily want a huge colorful logo. There's a lot to be had for everybody out here. I know we have some expecting moms at Fox 32, so we're going to do a little bit of present shopping, maybe to have some stuff ready to go for a little bit later in the year. When can people come out to the shop, and where is it exactly? Exactly. So we have 3 pro shops here at Soldier Field. This one that we're in is close to gate 45, and this is open 7 days a week. So even if you aren't coming to the game, you can still swing by and get some merch. And, you know, people don't necessarily maybe think of this next item as a must-have, but going into the game on Sunday, I'd imagine a blanket might be a very coveted item going into that game. Absolutely. The blankets have been a top seller for us this season. And you can get them and bring them in? You absolutely. Get them and bring them in. All right, guys, we are out here, Soldier Field. It is the Bears Pro Shop. I'm going to do some shopping on my own. Sarah, we appreciate you. Let's see. I think we've got my size ready to go. And on that note, I'm going to do a little bit more shopping as we toss it back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks for that, Jake. Apparently, tech burnout is real. From outdated to in demand, why the old iPhone 4 is actually making a strange comeback. Millions of children take part in individual sports teams, and that's fueling the $40 billion a year youth sports industry. That's actually nearly double the NFL's 2024 revenue, if you can believe that. The financial responsibility increases if your child plays club sports. But that's not all. The time commitment spikes as well. Fox News has more on the state of youth club sports in America.
Some 60 million kids across the U.S. get a kick out of playing youth sports, and roughly half of those participate in club sports, a more elite level of play.
Club sports is so much more than competition. There's also a lot about belonging, development, and communities. We see families that are investing more time, more energy, more resources than really ever before.
As the number of kids joining increases each year, the recently released Club Sports Index shows much of that coming down to the positive impact that translates on and off the field.
Parents said that their kids are building confidence, athletes are reporting stronger mental health and discipline, and coaches see some real gains in teamwork and character.
The study also examined the real commitment for both parents and players. Club-level sports require a significant amount of time and money.
You're going to be practicing at least twice a week. You're going to have games every weekend. Even in the off-season, you might be expected to train or have some sort of skill development.
Sports coupled with school and social activities can also lead to burnout.
Athletes and parents said that burnout happens at least twice a year, and it's often tied to pressures, just generally, whether it's, game pressure or week-to-week pressure, as well as just over-scheduling.
I played volleyball for almost 7 years.
A club athlete in Georgia, Marisol, understands both the pros and pressures of playing.
With club, you get more opportunities, you meet more people that you would never meet in high school, so I think it develops your social skills. Club coaches can also be harder, so you have to learn to take criticism on a daily basis.
Her mom, Julie, says both the time and money commitment can be tremendous.
During club season, anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a month just for the club fees. And then on top of that, any travel for a weekend-long tournament easily can get over $10,000.
But she adds what they get out of it far exceeds the cost of play.
It's also the friends that she's made, the exercise that she is getting, the discipline that she's getting through the weekly practices that I always feel the money was worth it.
Anna Eliopoulos.
Ooh, youth sports, Mark. And I were just talking about that. Okay, this is so funny. You see that right there, Mark?
Yeah.
That is an iPhone 4.
Wow.
Okay, so you got to keep this in mind. We are now up to an iPhone 17. That's the latest model, I believe. So this old iPhone 4 cell phone is suddenly hot once again.
Really?
Yeah, it was first released in 2010. So it's making this bizarre comeback for people with tech burnout. Probably Gen Z, you know, because they're the ones who everything old is new again.
Yeah, I like
right?
that.
So why, you ask, Mark, why? Why is this coming back?
Yeah, what is the deal?
Yes, well, I'm going to tell you. Apparently, it was a big design leap when it first launched in 2017. Some people say it was the game-changing iPhone.
Yeah.
And it's attractive, once again, for people looking for a smaller phone with fewer features. And believe it or not, some are selling on eBay for thousands of dollars.
You've got to be kidding me.
No. But experts are warning there could be security risks because of the aging batteries and fading security updates. Yeah, the security updates are different.
Yeah.
For this phone, Mark, the last software update was 2014, and things have changed since 2014.
They have, yeah.
Yes,
They've changed a little bit.
I've also heard that the Razr phone, remember the Razr? Remember that little cute Razr phone?
Flipped open,
yes, that is making a comeback as well.
I can see that. And you know, they have new Razr-type phones, which are all the rage with some of the big kids, like my age.
Yes, well, you know, I believe Motorola. Yes, Motorola is still around.
Isn't that nice?
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
You remember when they had that huge facility out in the burbs, right?
Right.
And then
Northwest Expressway.
You don't really hear much about them, but my daughter just informed me that Motorola is bringing back the Razr, Razr. But I don't think it has the QWERTY keyboard. Remember the QWERTY keyboard?
The QWERTY keyboard.
QWERTY, Q-U-E-R-T-Y. You don't remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little keyboard that you would slide out and you could type. It was like a mini typewriter. It was called a QWERTY keyboard.
Yeah, I had one of those.
Okay, did you have a Palm Pilot?
No, I never did.
I had a Palm Pilot. I remember, it's funny because I remember a Palm Pilot was such a big deal. It had the little stylus that you could do things. But then if somebody else had a Palm Pilot, you could put yours by theirs and the information would go from theirs to yours. And now that's what iPhone is doing.
Right.
So what's old is new again.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy stuff. $1,000 for an old phone that has been sitting in my desk drawer for this whole time.
I missed the QWERTY keyboard because I feel like the iPhone was always harder to text on.
Right. And you know, back in the day, when we're going back, 15 years or so, you know, you felt like you had a mini computer in your hand. You could, you know, text and write letters and do whatever. All right, actor Matthew McConaughey is saying no way to artificial intelligence. He says he's trademarked his voice and image. I'm surprised a lot more Hollywood actors and actresses haven't done this already. Well, this is an effort to save them from unauthorized AI use. The Wall Street Journal says several clips, including his famous all right. Wait, do it again.
All right. I can't do it.
Yeah, all right. Catchphrase from the 1993 film Dazed and Confused has been registered to the United States Patent and Trademark Office database. McConaughey is said to be the first actor who has attempted to use trademark law to protect their likeness from AI misuse.
That's actually quite smart. Everybody's going to start doing it. Have you ever thought of protecting your AI likeness, Mark?
Not until now.
Matthew McConaughey gave you that idea.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, one of my favorite Matthew McConaughey stories, I don't know him, so I'm not name dropping. I'm not Jake Hamilton or anything, but there's a restaurant in the city, okay? It's called Ever. It's a beautiful fine dining restaurant, okay? Michelin-starred restaurant. When you go to their bathroom, you are doing your business, whatever that may be. We don't need to get into that. And you hear Matthew McConaughey reading his book. You hear his voice.
Is that right, in the bathroom?
You hear his voice in the bathroom. So you're in the bathroom, you're washing your hands or whatever, and you're thinking to yourself, is that Matthew McConaughey?
That's
and it is.
funny. So the restaurant has nothing to do with Matthew McConaughey.
No,
It's just that he happens
I just thought
to be.
it was kind of a fun thing.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the name of this book is, but it's a book that he came out with a few years ago. And when you go instead of hearing music, you hear him reading from his book.
I like businesses that do kind of quirky things like that.
It's kind of fun.
There was a restaurant that was in Milwaukee. It was called the Safe House, and when you went into their bathroom, you'd hear live local police scanner
that's
over. So you could be in there washing your hands, and they're hearing APB out for yourself, and
hilarious.
like, ooh, I better go.
Well, the waiters and waitresses there say they love it when people are there for the first time, and they love to watch their reactions when they come out. Because they'll come out of the bathroom going, "You're not going to believe what I just heard."
I heard Matthew McConaughey in the bathroom.
Yeah, pretty funny, right? Okay, have you heard of Takis Snacks before?
No.
I don't think I know this. So this is a Mexican snack company, and it's looking to spice things up with its newest position. It's hiring a chief intensity officer. Takis is asking applicants to submit a 60-second video and questionnaire, and finalists will take part in a Zoom interview to showcase their ideas. The winner will be deemed Chief Intensity Officer and earn $30,000. If you're interested, you have until January 26 to submit your ideas. So this is a Mexican company that specializes in a variety of flavored rolled tortilla chips. Do you know this?
No.
No, I don't either.
This is interesting.
Rolled tortilla chips.
Yeah.
$30,000 a year. Part-time job. What do you think?
It kind of sounds more like a promotion than anything else, right, for the company, which, good for you guys.
Yeah.
Because $30,000, you're not going to, make a lot. You're not going to be very intense over,
extra
little side gig maybe. Yeah. But what does an intensity officer do? Just go around and go, we got to make more tortilla chips.
Now that you mention it, we have a lot of intensity officers here.
Junior intensity officers, right?
But I never thought to put that title on
them. To monetize it and get them a business card. I mean, you think about this. You're out, you meet someone new, they give you their business card. Chief Intensity Officer. Okay.
I like that. A different name.
Whatever you say.
Stay away, Intensity Officer.
Right. Stay away.
Mark is going to be back with the forecast. You're going to want to hear. Don't leave the house. Okay. Stick around.
It's intense.
We'll be right back. So intense.
You're watching.
Okay, so you're going to the game today. Mark Stroh, what are you wearing?
A lot of stuff. I'm going to look like the Michelin Man,
yes.
right? I mean, because it's going to be layer upon layer. Yeah, you know, I just love this new battery-operated clothing that, now it's been out for a while, but it's really come into vogue.
Right.
Now that the Bears have made such a big run.
You know, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I am going to be watching from the comforts and warmth of my home. How about you?
I like the sound of that, doesn't it? I mean, you look at that shot right there, it just looks cold.
It does, doesn't
A little
it?
steam coming off of the venue there where the camera is, and everything's covered in white. We've got a little more white coverage going on later on today with some more light snowfall. Temperatures today struggling to hit 20 degrees. We're down to around 0 tonight. And by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, wind chill values about 18 degrees below 0. Tomorrow around 9 for the high. 9, a little lowly 9.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's going to do it for us. But don't you worry. We'll be back. Fox News Sunday with Shannon Bream is coming up next. And, of course, we're back here at 9 with lots of Orange Sunday fun for you. Stick around as we take a live look outside at this gorgeous shot. It's cold out there, people. We'll see you at 9.
I'm Ultima More.